This show is made possible by support from landsharks.ca. Visit them for all your coin and swag needs at www.landsharks.ca. And by viewers like you. Thank you for your donations.
Winter caching, park caching, earth caching, and event caching. It's February 26, 2011. This is Trackfiles. Hi there, and welcome to Trackfiles. I'm your host, Icenry. Trackfiles is a podcast featuring caching news, upcoming events, YouTube videos, major milestones, and podcast rewind. My website is trackfiles.tv. My email address is geoicenry@icenry.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Trackfiles, and if you're a fan of the show, make sure you sign up for the Trackfiles Facebook fan page. So, what's new? Well, here in the province of British Columbia, we have our British Columbia Geocaching Association, and last week they sent out a letter. Just a quick note to let you know that on May 1st, the BCGA will be requesting the volunteers who had the 2008 BC Parks Georush caches to remove and archive them. We are doing this as to be in compliance with the BC Parks guideline of a 3-year limit on geocaches. So what this is all about is back in 2008, the Geocaching Association got together with the province and we started the program. And there were various caches hidden throughout the province. Well, part of the plan is that every 3 years these caches get taken out and new ones get put in. And as I mentioned on an earlier episode, they have some great plans coming up in 2011, and from what I hear, a lot of it centers right here in Prince George. So stay tuned for more information. However, that's enough small talk for now. Let's get in the caching news. Geocaching news. First we go down to Cape Cod, where we read in Cape Cod today. Cold cache in Brewster and Grafton. Geocaching in winter has some advantages. No ticks, mosquitoes, or poison ivy. And being bundled up in a parka and heavy long pants makes a pretty good briar barrier. On the other hand, there can be several feet of snow. Winter cachers in central Massachusetts have been especially challenged this season, with the 72 inches of snow that fell between Christmas and early February. Even caches rated as accessible in winter proved inaccessible, except perhaps to those with snowshoes, good-sized shovels, and ice picks. So what this is the reporter, who's actually an avid cacher, goes out caching on the weekend and tells their stories. And it's a great article. As usual, visit my website, trackfiles.tv, for a link to the full-length article. Next we travel to the Santa Monica area, where we read in the Acorn. National Park Service launches outdoor scavenger hunt program for the adventurous. The National Park Service recently unveiled a new park activity in the Santa Monica Mountains known as park caching. This activity is much like geocaching and offers an outdoor scavenger hunt using global positioning system with an educational theme that teaches the adventurer about the mountains. In park caching, the ranger-created caches encourage visitors to explore the mountains with a GPS unit and learn about the nation's largest urban national park. At Santa Monica Mountains National Recreation Area, each park cache contains a unique collector card. When all 6 cards are collected, an iconic image of the park is created. Visitors can find these accessible sites year-round. So there you go, another great story about geotourism. So staying in California, we move on up to the Bay Area, where we read in the KQED Quest blog. EarthCaches, learning through hide and seek. 21st century sport of geocaching is providing a new way to teach and learn about geology. Geocaching prompts people sitting on a computer to do what our parents always urged: go out and play. And a new twist in the game replaces the traditional payoff of choosing a trinket from a hidden stash with a short personal lecture on the rocks at your feet or the landscape around you. This type of geocache is called an Earthcache. So what this article is a geologist's point of view on Earthcaching. It's very well written, gets into some great technical detail, and it also includes a list of some of the Bay Area Earthcaches. For my final news item, I'd like to bring up a GPS related blog that I check out almost every day. The log is called GPS Tracklog. And once a week they put out their newsletter called Waypoints, which is a weekly link roundup of mostly GPS related odds and ends. And the website provides some great reading. And if you really like the website, you can also follow them on Twitter. And as usual, I'll have links on my website, trackfiles.tv, to both the blog and their Twitter feed. Check them out. There's some great GPS news stories you can read. Well, that about wraps it up for Cashy News. Let's check out this episode's YouTube video. YouTube video time. For this episode's YouTube video, we're traveling to Eastern Canada, Cape Breton and Nova Scotia to be exact, where we visit with the Seer and a great video he did on the 2011 Fort Louisbourg geocaching event. Folks, this is a great video, awesome scenery, and it's really neat seeing people out caching in the winter, and from the looks of it, it wasn't exactly warm this day. As usual, I'll show highlights from the video. Visit my website, trackfiles.tv, for a link to the full-length video. So from the Seer, 2011 Fort Louisbourg geocaching event on YouTube and Trackfiles.
Alright, so we're here at historic Fortress Louisbourg, or Louisbourg, and we're here for a geocaching event in middle of February. Weather-wise, it's around freezing. Of course, we're on the ocean, so we've got a nice little stiff breeze, and there's about probably over 40 people on site right now, so we're just going to walk around the site, find some of the geocaches. That's the reason why we're here, and meet up at the pub later on. So one of the reasons why they built the fortress here in the 1700s was that it was pretty much an ice-free harbor. Now, one of the cool things about a winter event is that you show up late and you just follow the foot tracks. So this is our geocache container. We have a logbook, pencil, and our QR code. Alright, so I'm just using ScanLife, which is an iPhone app, and I'm just gonna scan the QR code that's in the image, and it's gonna load up some supplemental information about it, and read more about it after we're done here. So at this particular geocache site, we're here to view the fortifications that were done. When they built the fortress, they really didn't think a land attack was possible until the 1745 siege. So they kind of built some more fortifications, walls, and a ditch to help protect the base of the wall from cannonball fire. So the fortress was built by the French in the early 1700s. And during that time, it kind of flipped control between the English and the French until the English finally destroyed the fortress around 1760. One thing, it would really suck to be a sentry here in the winter back in the day, because it is cold and wet. Oh. Alright, oh, there it is. Alright, this is it. Last cache. Explored the fortress in detail, learned a lot about Louisbourg, and we're going to head out to Cashy pub, one of the 18th century taverns, for the final wrap up. Warm up a bit, a little coffee, a little tea, because I know one thing, I am cold.
Hurts the face and the eyes and I'm glasses. Like saying
Alright, the event is done. People are packing up. We had a good turnout. There were about 67 logged names. You even had some people from Germany that they found out about the event drop by. Even though most of the buildings are shut down for the winter, the fortress is still open, so you can come and visit and walk around and explore some of the spots. The other thing too is you don't have to stay within the walls of the fortress. There's a lot of property to explore. There's a few trails being built too, so in a year or two there will be some very nice trails to explore.
So what a great video. And again, if you want to see the full-length video, visit my website, trackfiles.tv, for a link. And also, if you have a YouTube video you'd like featured on Trackfiles, email me, geoiceandry@iceandry.com, with a link, and we'll throw her on the show. Now next, you've seen some caching and you're all ready to go, let's find some events to go to. Time for this episode's caching events. Time for the event planner. All these events are scheduled for next Saturday, March 6th, 2011. First off, we go all the way over to Scotland, where we have Homecoming 2014, Mega Scotland, hosted by Flyfishermanbob. From Scotland, it's to Alaska, where we have Space Teacher's Mardi Gras Flash Mob Alaska, hosted by Space Teacher. From Alaska, the wind's going to carry us to Kansas, where we have the Wichita Geocaching Society Saturday Breakfast, hosted by For America. From Kansas, we're heading down to Texas for NG and 10,000 Smileys, hosted by Jack Rock. From Texas, we're coming back to Canada, to Manitoba, for the MBGA 6th birthday party, created by the MBGA. From there, we're heading west to Alberta for CARW 2011 Mega Snow Edition, hosted by Team Sid Shark and Jansky. And finally, we head to Vancouver Island, just outside of Victoria, for the Hide and Go Bash, hosted by the Hags. So as usual, visit my website where I have links to all these great events. And if you have an event you'd like mentioned on Trackfiles, email me, geoiceandry@iceandry.com. Travels plans are set, suitcases packed, time for Podcast Rewind. Let's find some great material to listen to on your trip to the events. Podcast Rewind, looking back at this past week in caching podcasts. First off, we start with Cache Maniacs, where Dale and Dre interview Team Gator OKC. Their dream caching locations take them to the original Stash Plaque and Hawaii. From there we go to the Geocaching podcast, where they discuss other location-based games besides geocaching that you can do with your smartphone. From there we go to the Twin Cities Geocaching podcast, where they featured the Minneapolis Examiner story on their show. Folks, as usual, I'll have links to these podcasts and many more on my website at trackfiles.tv. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode, but before I go, just a couple quick notes. First off, the Trackfiles Photo Challenge is cruising right along. I got some new photos last week, and folks, keep them coming. It's very easy to enter. All you have to do is have a membership at Flickr. It's easy, it's free. Upload your photographs and simply submit them to the group. Now, the next episode coming out on March 6th, 2011, I will be giving away more hardware. So if you want to get in on a chance to win a coin from Landsharks, make sure you get your photos in by next Saturday. And speaking of Landsharks, I have to thank them for their continuing support of the Trackfiles podcast. So make sure you visit them at landsharks.ca for all your coin and swag needs. And finally, I have to thank all the financial contributors to the Trackfiles podcast. Guys, without your contributions, Trackfiles would not be possible. And if you'd like to contribute to the show, it's very easy. Go to my website at trackfiles.tv and just look for the PayPal buttons on the right side menu bar. But in the meantime and in between time, that's it. Another episode of the Trackfiles podcast. So, until the next episode, remember, giving away hardware, cash on.